everyone, it's Jay Mitchell here from Soundsphere magazine. I'm here today with the incredible Nadia Javed from the Tuts, who has recently collaborated with the likes of Kathleen Hanna and the Petrol Girls to form a Riot Girls supergroup called Solidarity Not Silence. Their new single, This Is Sisterhood, will be raising money to fight a defamation suit after 5 women, including Nadia, spoke out against an alleged sexual predator in the music industry. Thank you, Nadia, for your time, and it's great to finally meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you too. Thanks for having me.
It's okay. So first question, first of all, just how are you doing? I imagine the past few months have been a bit of a roller coaster for you.
Yeah, it's been pretty insane. We dropped the single last week and it's just been like go since that. And today I finally had a bit of a breather, which was nice. And so, yeah, pretty overwhelmed, I'd say. I'm pretty overwhelmed at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, it's climbed to the near the top 10, is it? iTunes charts at the moment?
Yeah, so it got into the alternative iTunes charts, which was like totally unexpected. But that happened, and that's great. So the single's gone down really well.
Great. So the case itself, we don't need to go into loads of details because obviously it's an ongoing case, but it's brought to light an issue with the law and how it doesn't really protect those speaking out against abuse, especially in the industry. So what do you think needs to change with like the legal system so voices like your own aren't silenced in the future?
Yeah, so within the music industry, there's no like HR, there's nowhere that you can really go. And that's sort of a problem in itself, because if there is a situation like this, it's like, what choice do you really have other than to speak up, use your voice and use your platform? And I know like artists like Kate Nash are trying to like bring change within the music industry in terms of like sexual abuse within the music industry. And I know Kate Nash talked quite a lot about how like there's no HR in the music industry, and it's so true. Like there literally isn't. So in our situation, when you do use your voice and you do use your platform to raise an issue, you then face the risk of being sued, which is what's happened with us.
Yeah.
And then with us, we've not been able to get legal aid. So with defamation cases, you're not always guaranteed to get legal aid. It's very, very difficult to get legal aid. So therefore, we've had no choice but to crowdfund for our legal fees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it must have been pretty horrible getting that. It was just before Christmas that you got that notice.
Yeah. So if we talk about my case, so I made my claim in 2016. I spoke out in 2016 in July 2016, and then we got the letters literally like Christmas 2016, like just before Christmas Day. Mm-hmm. So literally, we were trying to get solicitors, because when we received the letters, they were from a really kind of like high profile entertainment lawyer based in London, like a very well-known entertainment law firm. Mm-hmm. And so when we got the letters from them, we knew it was really serious, and we knew that we needed to get representation to be protected. Like we needed to get legal representation. And because it was just before Christmas, it was really difficult to find somebody so quick. So we were sort of getting into a bit of a panic, and yeah, it was just crazy because obviously everything's closed over Christmas and then it goes into the new year. So, and on the letter, it had like a deadline that we needed to respond by. Mm-hmm. So we were just kind of, a bit scared and worried about that.
Yeah, definitely. But you've had some amazing support these past few weeks, and the artists that you've worked with, like Kathleen Hanna, so Riot Girls icon, really. So what was that like? What was working with Kathleen Hanna like?
Yeah, so she's always been really supportive. My relationship with her first began, funnily enough, in 2016 as well. Because Tuts were releasing an album, and we had like a press release, and usually when you have like a press release, you dish out loads of like CDs to people, and you're like, have a listen to this, let me know what you think. So I literally just like DM'd her on like one of the social media platforms, and I just was like, hey, I'd love to send you a CD. And she was like, oh my God, I love your band. So I was like, oh, okay, wow, I didn't know that, like just blown away. So I posted her some stuff, and then that's how the relationship began. Then we got booked to play Brixton Academy, the Bikini Kill reunion shows, which is absolutely amazing and insane. And then when we were there, then obviously we got talking and etc. etc. And then she showed a lot of solidarity. She gave us £1,000 cash that day.
Wow.
Like her management like walked into our dressing room and gave us £1,000 cash towards the crowdfunder for our legal fees, and we were just totally blown away by her generosity, like honestly. And then she went on to, you know, talk about solidarity, not silence, on stage as well. And yeah, it was just so supportive, and we captured it on camera, because we literally like record everything. So we captured it on camera, and we took the audio from that videotape and put it into the song. Obviously with her permission and everything. She was like, yeah, of course. And that's how she became an official feature of the track, really. So she opens up the track with her vocals, which is just absolutely amazing. And I think it's really important that it's been so, I'm just blown away by that she has shown so much support, and also it has got the song, you know, it's grabbed people's attention. You know, they see the words Kathleen Hanna, and you're like, what? You know, and I don't think there's ever been like a collaboration like this in history ever before. So to come together to do something like, for something so important like this, with such a strong message behind it, I just think it's so powerful. Honestly, it's just, I'm still just overwhelmed that she's on it. like I'm just like, wow. But it is so brave of her to be forward with her support, because some people have shied away, you know, because that's the thing. You know, you could even get sued if you retweeted something, you know, because, you know, it's crazy. You can get into a lot of trouble by what you post on social media. So I think she's been very brave to come forward and put her name forward and to support and be an official feature on the track. And she's been so generous. So yeah, it's just blows my mind, honestly.
Brilliant. It is brilliant. So you mentioned in the description of the crowdfunder that you like prayed to God to help you just the night before you wrote the lyrics. Can you tell us a little bit about your like spiritual journey or your journey with faith? And influenced your music?
It's insane. Like, so I grew up in a Muslim family, and so we used to go to like mosque like every day, not every day after school. Like it was like Friday and Saturdays or something. And the mosque was basically just like a school converted into like a mosque thing, like after hours. And then we'd go and we'd learn. And then we fell out of touch with the whole like religious side of things, like when my parents separated, because everyone just got, you know. And so I sort of fell out of touch with being a Muslim for so long. Yeah. And you know, I drink, you know, I still drink, like, and yeah, I've done a lot of crazy things. But like, what am I trying to say here? Sorry, I'm not being very articulate. So started off religious, sort of. Then I fell out of touch with it. And then I started to kind of get a little bit back into it. I don't pray like 5 times a day. And shame on me, I actually don't even know like the proper legit way to pray. So when I say that I pray, I literally just talk to God in English and just talk and just communicate the way I do. Sometimes I write letters in my journal and address them to God, kind of thing. And I just have like my own way of connecting. And yeah, I'm into like meditation and so many different types of things. Like I am quite spiritual, but with that particular song, so what happened was like, I really wanted to write something that just had the story in there and just everything in there. I just wanted to release like all this sort of energy and this, and I wrote something, and it was just sort of like, it was more like R&B style. Right. And I was thinking like this, I don't know if this is, and I remember like I did a demo to it, and it was really R&B, and I just thought, oh, I don't know about this. It's just, I don't know what's going on here. And then I thought, fuck it, let's just do another one. Just write another one. So that night before I was in bed and I was like praying and I was like, please help me write this song, like use me to get this out. Like, you know, I want, like, please help me write this song. And the next day, I kid you not, I grabbed my guitar and it wrote itself within minutes. Like it just happened. It just happened. And when those moments happen, it's incredible because I can't even really remember, because when you're in it, you're in it. You can't even really remember. I mean, you know what it's like, you're a poet. Like when you're in it, it just flows and you can't even really remember. But yeah, and the song just wrote itself.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's what happened. So there was a first draft, but we had to change a lot of the lyrics because you can't repeat any allegations. So we had to be quite careful with what we said,
Right.
because you can't repeat any allegations. So there was like a first draft of lyrics, and then I had to compromise quite a lot on like some of the stuff that I did actually want to say. So we sort of changed a few bits, and then Ren from Petrol Girls, who's also another defendant, wrote the most like breathtaking middle eight and spoken word. And I think, yeah, and then we just started grabbing like mates together just to like form this sort of super group. And even though I can play guitar and stuff, I wanted Katie Gapp from Personal Best to put a guitar solo on there because she's so good. And I wanted Jodie to do, because like Bev had sort of like stepped like down a bit from like doing drums and stuff. With like the Tuts are kind of, we haven't really released anything as a band since the album in 2016, and we did one like remix track with Girly, but we haven't released any music because, to be honest, like there's so much stuff that's happened with the Tuts, and even with this legal thing, it's really sort of impacted us as a band because we can't really just be like a normal band anymore. Like everything we were doing, everything was like, we've got to raise money for the legal thing. If we did a gig, it was a crowdfunder gig. Like suddenly we weren't just a band. Like it was like we had to keep raising money, and it put just incredible amount of pressure on us. And yeah, so with this track, we ended up getting Jodie from Personal Best from Call Me Wednesday to jump on the track, and they're absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. So yeah, we formed the super group. Harriet's playing bass, and then we just got loads of our mates down to the studio to do gang vocals, got a couple of choirs down. It was just amazing, honestly.
Yeah. It's a beautiful chorus of voices, it really is. So obviously it must have been so daunting to receive that letter in the post, and obviously it was Christmas time, so I'm wondering, like, how did your friends and family respond to this defamation suit, and do you think you got the support you really needed from the music industry and your fellow musician friends, or were you quite disappointed?
When my mum found out, she went crazy. Like literally, she went crazy. She was like swearing at me. She was just going crazy. She was like almost like on his side, because she was like, you call him up right now, you apologize, and you get rid of this right now. And I was like, and then she was like, give me his number, I'll call him. She's like, give me his number. And I was just like, oh my God, because for ages I kept it quiet from them. But then it started to go public, and I was like, they're gonna find out. And even to this day, like there are certain members of my family that are like, why did you get involved in this? Why did you poke your nose in? Blah, 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 blah. And I get it. Like, and even like members of my family, because I've got like, my mum's Indian, and some of like, she's born in Malawi in Africa, so she still has some family there. They like came over last year? Yeah, last year. And it was just like really awkward, like a family gathering, like I'm getting questioned about this legal thing, and it's just so awkward. And my auntie's like, so Nadia, tell me about this. And I'm just like, can we not talk about it right now? Like, can we not? Like, it just gets really kind of awkward because I don't want to worry them, and I don't want to worry my mum, and I don't want to worry people that like, because I know that we're going to be okay. Like, I know that, and I know that we're going to win, and I know we're going to be okay. And I know that we've got so much support. Like, we're so lucky. Like, the public have helped us so much. But yeah, it is difficult, you know, like no one wants their kid to be getting sued. Like no one wants their niece to be getting sued. Like no one wants their sister to be getting sued. And even if like, you know, you're doing it for something, like, you know, because you believe in something, like it's still really, it's still a horrible thing to go through. Like it's still like a horrible thing to go through. And yeah, so it is really, really difficult to get support from family. But then I think my mum eventually came round because my mum's like a strong woman. She's a fighter, and that's where I get it from. So in some sense,
it's Indian women.
yeah,
my mum's the same.
Yeah, so it's like I've grown up watching my mum, like, you know, even with my mum and dad to some extent, like I've witnessed domestic violence in my own family. And so yeah, so I suppose like I've always wanted to like help in any way I can if I see wrong being done to like other women and so on, what I'm trying to say, without sort of like, you know, insinuating that this is to do with domestic violence or anything. But yeah, so my mum's a really strong woman, and I've seen her like, you know, she's feisty. My mum is so feisty. So in some sense, like my mum, like, you know, it's like, mum, I learnt from the best.
Yeah, you can't blame me. In the gym.
Exactly. And then in terms of like, the public have been absolutely amazing. We've got so much support, and honestly, I can't even, well, I can be even more grateful. You can never be, I suppose. Gratitude is so, so, so important. Like I'm always doing like gratitude lists and like even saying thank you to God all the time. That's like another thing that I do a lot of. But there are like some people who I hoped would have shown more support, like other artists and stuff, but they are scared to speak up because I think because it's not regulated and there isn't like a HR and you know, the law doesn't protect us. Like if another artist was to sort of back us up publicly and slip up and say something wrong or repeat an allegation or something, they could potentially be at risk of being sued. So I think, and you know, and in that sense, like I don't blame some people for like not, you know, wanting to get in trouble, like, or like, you know, get sued because it's expensive, because it is expensive. Like, but then on the other hand, I am like, if more people show solidarity, like, what's he going to do? Sue absolutely everybody.
Yeah.
So I do feel like it would be good if, yeah, there was like even more solidarity. But I am so grateful for the people that have shown solidarity. But there are like people out there with big platforms, like that kind of do support causes like this and do speak up about stuff like this, but then haven't shown support for this. And so I do sometimes feel a little bit disappointed, and I do wish that those people would. But then equally, I kind of understand a little bit that, like, you know, but then it's like, come on. So it is tough. It is tough. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can imagine it being quite disappointing, disheartening even to see people that could have made a massive impact on the track's release really just stand idly by. It kind of links into the idea of performative sort of activism, doesn't it? So
I know, that's the thing. And you just think, like there was some big artist that like liked my post but didn't share it, and I just thought, you've liked it, so you've seen it. Why haven't you just pressed that arrow and just shared it to your story? It doesn't cost you a thing. Like, oh, it could, but like the likelihood is that it, you know, like just please share it. But you know, I suppose I just want to focus on the people that have shown a lot of support, and so I'll just focus on that. But it is disappointing. I don't know, maybe I should just, I don't know, ask them to share it. Some people I did, I was like, please share this. Please share this. But it would be nice if, you know, there were some people that just shared it and I didn't even need to ask them, they just shared it, and I thought that is so generous. Like, that's so nice of them to do that. Because the thing is, like, the thing that we really want to make clear about this is because there's three main reasons why we release this track. Number one, we need to raise funds for our legal fees. Number two, we want to raise awareness of the wider issue within the music industry and just in general. And number three, I want people to connect to the song, other survivors, for them to feel heard. It's like a way of saying I believe you, and it's also a way of them feeling less lonely.
Yeah.
Like I really had a really touching message from someone, a really touching message who was like, your voice was the voice that I didn't have when I went through this particular thing. And I'm just like, whoa. And they really opened up about what happened to them, and it's insane. And I just, it also puts me in a position of responsibility as well, because now if I have people coming forward with their stories, it's very kind of, it's quite difficult to also even hear this. And
yeah, definitely.
I suppose it's good for them to just say it to me, and I'm there to listen really and just hold space for them and to say like, I believe you. But at the same time, it's like, it's very much so like
You're
sharing of vulnerabilities.
Trauma really. So I think that's it's kind of,
sorry, what was that? What did you say? Sorry?
You're absorbing other people's trauma at the same time, which is a lot of pressure really. So I mean, it's great for opening up to you, but it's just also like there has to be, you need to look out for yourself as well, like especially triggering topics and stuff.
And I also want to say the right thing to them as well, because I want them to feel heard, and I want them to feel like, you know, like not ignored and supported. But then at the same time, it's like, I just want to make sure I do it in the right way. So it's bringing up all sorts of different challenges and different ways of like connecting with people. But so those are the main three things of why we released the song. And in some sense, we have kind of achieved that, what we set out to. We have raised funds. I'm so grateful. We have raised awareness for the wider issue, and people have connected to the song. And so I'm just totally blown away by it. And I think we really want to stress those 3 points, because part of the reason why we're being sued as well is we're being, one of the points is that we outed this man to further our music careers. Right. So their points is that we did this because we wanted publicity.
Right.
So when the song got successful, we felt like, oh my God, can we even celebrate this right now? Can we even be happy about this? Because will that mean that this is for publicity kind of thing? You know what I mean? Yeah. But as a side effect of doing those 3 things anyway with a song, you are naturally going to be in the public eye a little bit more. But those aren't the main purposes. And even with the song, in all of the press pieces, we've made sure that it's not me that's been like, I wrote this song, blah blah blah. Like, it's not really even been said in like any of the press, Nadia Javed, blah blah blah, because I don't really want to give him any more substance to come at me with, like, she's going around in all the press saying that she wrote the song, she's doing this to further her career kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's very much so like, that's why we formed the supergroup as well, in some sense, is to just sort of like bring in like lots of different people to make this like a big collaborative piece, because it was, you know, although the song started off with like a prayer and an acoustic guitar, what it became was a collaboration of lots of different musicians making something like a little bedroom song into something really powerful. So
it's a lot safer for you as well, especially as like a woman of color. I feel like the media is so much harsher when it comes to like critiquing women of color. So having this kind of super group, this whole band of women together, it's almost like a bit of a shield for you, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Literally. Yeah, you've put that really, really nicely, actually. It is like a shield. And I do feel protected within like the super group and with everything. And I think it just goes to show how important collective is, really.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's kind of wrap up the case discussion. What are the key things that you've taken away from the ordeal? Do you have any regrets about the situation?
It's funny you say that, because I'll be honest, like, no one wants to be sued. Like, no, it's not something that like anybody would want to go through. And even now it's just going on for so long. It's 4.5 years, and we really just want it to sort of end. And yeah, regrets. Just wish I wasn't being sued. I think no, this is what I will say is that no, I don't like being sued. Nobody wants to be sued. But now I am, and I'm in this, and it is a mess. It's horrible. I am in it till the end.
Yeah.
And I think like we've come so far now. It's like we might as well just keep fighting like right till the end. Because there were settlement offers, like, but the thing is those settlements wanted sort of basically wanted us to publicly apologize and bury our heads. Like, I'm just going to stick to the lyrics of the song because then I know I won't get in trouble. So he wanted us to publicly apologize and bury our heads. And the thing is I still stand by what I said.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to publicly take that back and apologize because I wouldn't mean it. And I just feel like it just sent out such a wrong message. And you know what, like I just can't do it. Like I honestly I can't do that. I can't do that. And we've come this far, and we believe we're going to win, and we've got so much support behind us. And so yeah, so that's what I will say is it's not nice being sued. Of course I don't want to be sued, but now I'm in it. It's like let's do this. Let's fight till the end, and let's win.
Yeah, and all the power to you for that.
Justice.
Yeah.
Justice.
Okay, so got all the serious, hard stuff out the way. Let's get to know Nadia personally. So, Nadia, let's talk about music. So, what are your biggest musical influences, and do you have a comfort record?
We just changed over now. Musical influences. So my musical influences. You know what? I'm going to be honest, right? I actually like my musical knowledge isn't even like that broad. You know, like there's like people out there who've like listened to like every single album, like every single record, know all this like fancy music. I have like terrible taste in music. I just love 90s pop.
Oh, nice.
I just loved like 90s pop, and like a little bit of UK garage, and just like loads of pop music. Spice Girls. I'd say Spice Girls and the Libertines, like two major influences in my life. And that's probably what the Tuts sound like.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
But like, you know, like growing up, because I'm older than I look. I'm 32. So when I was so what was the point of this? Yeah. So when I was in secondary school, there wasn't all this social media, Tumblr, blah 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 blah. Like you couldn't get woke just by like scrolling through a thing on Instagram and reading lots of things and blah. Like I didn't know what intersectional feminism was, and I didn't even go on about feminism. We just sort of formed this organically. And I actually used to go to watch loads of bands that were just full of white dudes. And at the time I loved it. It was great. They had so much confidence. Like I was like, I want to be like them. I want to be like that white man. He had loads of confidence. And like the thing what I loved about the Libertines was because they were just like so messy on stage. And it made me think, they could barely play their own instruments. Like, I can do that. And just their confidence and vulnerability. And I just loved it. And when I left that gig, because I went to, the first gig I went to was Feeder, because I loved Feeder, Good Charlotte, Busted, like, loved it. Did the busted jumps and everything. Like, first gig I went to was Feeder at Wembley Arena. And then the second gig was Love Music, Hate Racism, and the Libertines were headlining. And after I left that gig, it was like the first proper like standing gig that I went to. I was at the front, had to be pulled out, like, dehydrated, whatever. The next day, like, they raised my vibration. They raised my vibration to a next level. Like I felt like when I left that gig, I felt like a different person. Like, and when I went to school the next day with like my Discman, like, you know, walking to school, I had like a bit of a bounce to my, what do you call it?
A bounce in your step.
your stride or whatever the hell you call it, like a bounce. I was walking differently. Like they really just gave me so much energy, and yeah, and then yeah, so that was like main influences really, and then Kate Nash came in like afterwards, and then more female artists.
Brilliant. Spice Girls and the Libertines. Wow, that's the perfect way to describe the Tuts, really. Yeah, perfect little mashup of the two. Okay, so what are you reading at the moment? Is there anything you recommend?
So I'm reading a book by Brené Brown. Shall I go grab it?
Yeah, go grab it. Go for it.
Let me just go grab it. Sorry, I'm just in my. You see my setup now. I've got a water bottle on my back. Right, one sec. Oh, so it's this one, and then actually I'll grab a couple more. It'll be good to get them out there. So things that I'm reading. So I'm reading this one, Daring Greatly, How the Courage to be Vulnerable Transforms the Way We Live, Love, Parent and Lead, by Brené Brown. So this was, but I'm a very slow reader, and I'm not like too embarrassed to admit that. Yeah. And I'm the type of person who'll start reading something and then I like put it down, and then I stop, and then it's just crazy. And then Brown Baby by Nikesh Shukla, and then by my bed I've got Secrets of Divine Love. Wait, Divine Secrets of Love, Secrets of Divine Love, or Divine Secrets of Love. Secrets of. Hold on, I can't get out of. Let me just.
You're googling it now.
Yeah, because I still. Anyway, that one's really, really good. Like, I get Secrets of Divine Love. Yeah. Basically, that one's all about religion, God, spirituality, and you don't have to be Muslim to be like really into it, because God can be like, people refer to God in different ways, like the universe, God, Allah, like in lots of different ways. But that one is so good. People need to read that, honestly. That one's changed my life a little. Well, not my life. Yeah, it has. It's brought me closer to God, and it has made me. People are going to be like, oh my God, when did Nadia from the Tuts become so religious? My sister was laughing at me because she was like, when did you become so religious? And I was like, because I do even get shy about talking about it sometimes, because in my family I was always seen as like a bit of the the rebel and like the one who didn't care much. So when I did start to connect a little bit more with religion, I almost felt a bit like, not embarrassed, but a bit shy of it.
Yeah.
But so that one's really good. I keep it by my bed, and honestly, anyone reading that would take away so much from it. So much from it. I take pictures and send them to my friends when they're feeling shit. Sometimes I'm like, read this, and yeah, it's so good, so good. Oh, I should feel like I can use a passage. I feel like I know my favorite page so far is page 70, and my friend put around the other day, and she took the book and she opened it, and because that page is like my favorite, it's like bent to that page, and she started reading it. And then I went, you need to read page 70. She went, I'm on page 70. And she thought it was like this weird, that's weird. Is she like psychic? But I think it was just because like I've opened that page so many times. When she opened it, it just naturally fell there. But yeah, that one's a really good one. You should read that one.
Yeah, definitely. I'll add that.
Well, there's like Rumi poetry in there too.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so what's the last thing that made you laugh till you cried?
Oh my God, probably like watching one of my own vlogs.
Wait, you had a vlog?
I think one of my Insta stories.
Yeah.
I used to post really funny Insta stories, like really ridiculous stuff, and I think I was laughing at like one of my Insta stories when I went on holiday with my friend, because we were pranking the receptionist from the hotel room, because that's how childish we are. And I think I was just laughing about it to myself until I cry laughed. When else was I cry laughing? Sometimes it's basically I just laugh at my own jokes. When was I? Oh my God, that's quite sad that I don't even know like when I was like properly cry laughing. Let's just say it was to my own content.
Yeah.
Okay. But I want to invite all the Tuts round and just like watch Tuts vlogs. That'd be like my favourite night ever.
Yeah, definitely. You should do that. Just drop them a message and be like, come on.
Like, I want them to bring their boyfriends so that
they can be embarrassed.
So that their boyfriends can just be like, what is this? And then us Tuts will just be like, and then all the boys are just like, what is this? Yeah.
Brilliant. That sounds like a great night out, to be fair. So what has given you hope recently?
That book. Honestly, what's given me hope? When I see little kids and babies, that gives me hope, because I'm like, oh, maybe one day I can just have a normal life. Just be a mum.
Not be sued by anyone.
Not that that's like an easy job, or like just be a mum. It's like the biggest sacrifice you can make. But I would love that one day, just to like have a kid. Just have a kid and like have a family and do normal stuff.
Yeah.
Not be sued, just do normal stuff.
just live.
That'd be really nice. Hopefully the stress won't like killed all my eggs.
God. I mean,
stress.
God. Right. Okay. Let's bring it back to music.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. Okay, so can you recommend me a band or a solo musician that you think is criminally underrated at the moment?
My friend's in a band called Breakup Haircut.
Breakup Haircut, okay. What kind of music is it?
It's like punk pop. And then Breakup Haircut, great name. And an underrated artist, I'd say, because she's on my mind today, Lilithai. Lilithai, yeah. Beautiful voice. I'd say underrated. Yeah, there you go. And also my mate Adam Sheridan, he's great. He's in the Sheridans. My brain's gone a bit blank. Colour Me Wednesday, underrated.
Can you hear my cat meowing?
Personal Best, that's another band. Personal Best, great band.
Personal Best.
These are just all names of the people in the I was just with my friends. Let me just think, actually, because like my brain's just gone a bit blank, but there's some.
Yeah. Okay, so plug some of your mates' music.
Yes. Plug some. I'm just looking at my there's my playlists on Spotify. See if there's anyone that I've missed. It's just all like Dappy, no regrets.
Nice.
Oh God. Yeah, it's just all like Good Charlotte, Avril Lavigne, McFly, Kate Nash, Busted, Destiny's Child, Backstreet Boys. Yeah, there we go. So we'll just stick with those ones.
Perfect. That'll do me. That'll be fine. So, obviously, you're in your 30s now, but you could still pass for 21.
I'm in my 30s.
What advice would you give to your 21-year-old self if you could? Or even any 20-year-old musicians, people just starting out in that industry?
So I would say, I felt like I was actually stronger in my 20s. I'm not going to lie. Like these days, I'm actually more, well, I know vulnerability is strength. But these days, I'm actually more, I think like sometimes a trauma can catch up with you, I think. And it can catch up with you. I think in my 20s, I was more sort of just pushed it away, got on with it. I was too busy to even think about what happened in the past and all this stuff. So I would just say, and I did do this though when I was 20, I would say it's really important to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, I mean, how can you expect anybody else to? And if you put your value into somebody else's hands, then you'll never really be in control of your own self-worth.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, you know, for example, like social media, if you put your worth and your value in how many likes you get, then you're putting it into the hands of other people who like your pictures. And then if your picture doesn't get that many likes, you're like, oh my God, I'm not worth anything. I'm worthless, blah, blah, blah. So I think definitely believe in yourself, but don't wait for anyone to give you any opportunities, I'd say, because sometimes we can sort of like wait for that email to come through, or wait for somebody to ask us to write that book that we want to do, or wait for the label, a record deal so we can, no. Do your shit. Like, just get on with it, connect with people, use your contacts around you. Just don't wait for anybody to give you any opportunities. Just put yourself out there and just really go for it. And it takes time. Like, stuff doesn't happen overnight. Like, it takes time.
Yeah.
Just don't give up, and definitely get therapy.
Yeah.
Definitely get therapy. Yeah. If you can afford it, or get it on the NHS, which I know is so long-winded. But yeah.
Perfect. That's great advice.
And I think, and also I'll say, vulnerability is a good thing. Vulnerability is a good thing, and never be ashamed or afraid to be yourself and to be vulnerable, because that is actually strength. And through that, you will connect with people and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That was powerful. That was good. I that resonated with me. So as a 21-year-old, I was like, yeah, I'm taking that advice.
Easy. I don't know, but that's what I'd say. I'll probably think of something better later and then just be like, oh, I didn't say that. Yeah.
Okay, right. So you played with Bikini Kill in 2019. Was that your last gig? What's next for the Tuts?
Oh. So, in terms of the Tuts, there really isn't that much in the pipeline, if I'm honest. I think we just really burned ourselves out, if I'm honest. So like when COVID happened and stuff, and everybody was really sad that all their gigs got cancelled, like I totally empathize with a lot of musicians weren't able to make money and stuff. But for us, we were just sort of like, we've always maintained a day job. Like, we've never made enough income from the band to sort of support 3 people.
Yeah.
And we've never had like a label to give us an advance or anything like that. We've always maintained a day job, always. So we just carried on. We're just doing day jobs, really.
I mean, you're all from working class backgrounds. It's not like you've got rich parents.
Born and bred Hayes, Southall Hayes. Yeah, so that's, yeah, we just don't really have much in the pipeline. We just really burned ourselves out with everything. So we just...
I mean, that just adds some spice to the music. It makes it more, you know? Like...
We burned ourselves out. Yeah, we burned ourselves out. But I mean, like, I'm always going to write. Like, I have a bunch of songs that I would love to release. Yeah, I've got songs.
Yeah, do you think you're going to do some solo stuff in the next few years, maybe?
Yeah, so I did that Boris song, which is just for a laugh, really, because I went after that Bikini Kill gig. We knew at like the Tuts that we were just going to go on like a bit of a break and stuff, and my mate was doing this thing got this thing at Edinburgh Fringe, and then we formed this collective, and so I ended up going with them, and it was amazing. I did like some solo shows, and I played some material, some Tuts stuff, some of my stuff, and then we played, and then after Edinburgh Fringe, we did that show in London, and the response was so amazing from that show, and my confidence really kind of like peaked, and because I was around such supportive people, and then the election was coming up, and people kept coming up to me going, "You've got to release that song, that Boris Johnson song is so funny, so funny." So I thought, and I'm like a massive procrastinator, so along with like the support and the confidence that I had at the time, and then the deadline of the election, it pushed me to actually do it.
Yeah.
And I think I was too scared to like do it and put it onto like Spotify and like do it as like a proper release. So I was like, oh, I'll just do like a live video and just throw it on YouTube and just see what happens, and whoever likes it, and they can just go and watch it. And then it ended up being quite good, actually. And like it is a good song, even though Sajid Javid has sort of disappeared. But yeah, in some sense, I kind of wish I did put it on Spotify and stuff like that. But it's fine. Hopefully I'll get to.
You will in the next year or so.
Maybe it'd be nice to like record it properly, like with a full band. Yeah, it'd be nice to record it properly with like a full band and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. I think it's funny because I made a 5-year plan with my mate the other day, and we sort of talked about like what I'm going to focus on. And so I do feel like I have a focus, and I think I would really like to release these songs that I have, because they're just sort of sitting there, and some of them are quite good, but they are like songs about being a brown working class girl type thing, like some of them. Yeah, like in one song I talk about how like I don't want to get I didn't want to get married to my ex.
Mhm.
And but his family kept putting pressure on us to get a nikah. And they're like, get a nikah, get a nikah. And a lot of people were like, what's a nikah? And it's like, it's an Islamic marriage. So I talk about stuff that some people will probably be like, what's that?
I mean, it'll
But
probably educate them a little bit. Like we
yeah,
need that variety in music.
and that's why I'm just like, I don't really like, I want to release this
Yeah,
stuff.
you should.
I think it'd be some cool, yes, I think I just want to do it so I can make fun music videos as well. Because I'm such a visual person, and I'd love to just like, because it's been so long since the Tuts did anything, and sometimes I think to myself, am I gonna do stuff again? Like, that sometimes when you have those doubts and you think, am I ever gonna release music again? Like,
Yeah.
will I just die with these songs? But then I'm like, no, no, no. So I think slowly I'm edging there, I'm edging there, I'm edging there. And I think when the time is right, it will happen.
Yeah.
It will happen. But it would be nice just to sort of get some things off the plate and make room for things, and just sort of like, but yeah, I am really hopeful about that. That's another thing that gives me hope, is just like music, really. Like these songs that I just absolutely love to put out there for a bunch of people who have never had songs that they maybe could really relate to on that level. I think it'd be just amazing to do that and just connect with people over that.
Yeah,
It'd be
I
so
think there's a real gap in that industry for you, and honestly, you
cool.
did it perfectly. So just definitely think about getting that music out there, because I need that on my playlist.
Yeah, and also at one point we've got to do a collab.
Yes, yes. At one point we'll do
I
that.
love, you're so talented.
Thank you, Nadia. That's very kind of you to say. But
I
yeah,
think you should drop music.
God, if anyone could hear my singing voice, it's awful.
I'm just like I think that like everyone's an artist. I'm always like, they're an artist. I believe everyone can write a song. I'm like that type of person. I'm like, no, everybody has the power and the gift, and like, I honestly do believe, because in that book I'm reading as well, it does say like everybody was born with a gift and a talent. And when you align to that gift and that talent that you have, that's when you really live in your truth, and you can serve people, like you use your gift and talent to give, and I think that's what, and I hope that's what I am doing through music and will carry on doing, and so yeah. And you with your poetry, that's
Yeah.
like...
Thank you. Yeah, you're doing a great job, and honestly, just all the poetry. You keep fighting this case, because so many of us have your back on this. We're all here to support you. So, just last thing before we wrap up, anything you'd like to plug? Obviously the new single, but just go ahead, plug whatever you need to.
Yes, the single "This Is Sisterhood" is out now on all platforms, and it's by the collective Solidarity Not Silence, featuring the Tuts, Kathleen, Hannah, and Petrol Girls.
Perfect. And you can also
there's also another song coming out called with a different group of people, called Reclaim the Streets.
Okay, yeah.
That was very heavily influenced by the murder of Sarah Everard. And that will be coming out as well, like on the 14th of May, I want to say. So yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so yeah, just to recap, This Is Sisterhood. Go listen to it. Go buy it. Go buy the merch. There's t-shirts.
The merch is amazing. It's like the design is like a Justice tarot card. It's absolutely. I can't wait to get some merch myself.
Yeah.
So I could put a print on the wall.
Yeah, definitely. It looks amazing. And creds to, who was the artist behind it?
Akbar Ali.
Akbar Ali. Okay. Yeah. Great work. So thank you so much for chatting with me today. It's been super engaging just talking to you, hearing your side of things, and just a massive thank you and a big good luck with the case, and big luck with a lot of luck with the song as well, and hopefully that keeps climbing those iTunes charts. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I super appreciate this, and have a good rest of the day.
Thank you. You too. Bye.